on, guys? Tonight is my last night off before I gotta get going back to work, and not a lifting video for today for you today. I'm going to do the old school bodybuilding tag. It is pretty late at night. It's a little after 10 o'clock right now, so let's see. I saw a couple other people do this video. Craig over at Greywood Fitness did this, and I saw Lori and John do this as well. So I'm going to give this a shot as well. There's 8 questions, and it's more of kind of like how things got me into lifting. So how old was I when I started lifting? I actually didn't start until I was in high school, my freshman year, or maybe a little bit before that in football, during 2-a-days or something. I didn't start off in football right away. I kind of started in the second week of 2-a-days because I was also in band, and the first week of 2-a-days is marching band camp. So I did marching band camp, and then I started the second week of football. So number 2, what was your motivation? At first it was just to get stronger for football training. And then further on, it was also to get better at wrestling, and which was my main sport. And later on in my life, 7 years later, or actually, like, let's say, so I graduated in 2005, and I started lifting again in real lifting in like 2010. Again, was just to get in shape. And then in 2012, I was getting really strong. So that's when I started competing in strongman, was 2012. Who were your role models? I didn't have any like bodybuilding role models or anything like that, or guys that were big and strong that I had as role models back then. I kind of thought about this a little bit to try and think of who was my role models back then. But when I was in high school, I was big into wrestling, and that's when like the UFC was getting big, and I was really big into that. Watched a lot of the pay-per-views. Had Buffalo Wild Wings on, when they had those available, and my role model in that was Chuck Liddell. So if you're into UFC, I'm really big into the Iceman. Maybe that's why I have a mohawk now. But what kind of music do you listen to while working out in those early days? Back then, we listened to a lot of rock in the gym at the high school because our lifting coach didn't like rap. So if he heard rap or any kind of swear words or anything like that, he always threatened to take the CD out of the CD player and throw it up on this little, I don't know, it was like a ledge up above the gym. There's no way to get it down. What kind of equipment did you have? We had a pretty decent gym when I was in high school. There was a good set of dumbbells, some bars that had plates on it already, straight and curl. We had some trap bars, a couple different benches, a laying hamstring curl, a pull down, a hack squat that was also a leg press. I think we had 2 squat racks. It was pretty old school equipment, and they upgraded after I got out of school, and they upgraded again after that. Actually, some of the weight plates that I have in my garage and my deadlift platform are from my school. They had an auction a couple years ago. Did you follow a structured workout plan? So a lot of our programming that we had for football was a group workout where everything was set up for us ahead of time. But other than that, it was always just what we felt like doing. We didn't really follow any kind of program back then. Nowadays, I kind of come up with my own programming when I'm getting ready for a competition, or I follow a different program that I've purchased myself. Did you work out alone? A lot of times I did. There was always like a coach up in the weight room with us, but a lot of the times when I was hitting big numbers and stuff, I was by myself, and then the coach was always there. Our actual weightlifting coach for football was a pretty strong dude. He played lacrosse for University of Wisconsin and got a job at our school. He was a special education teacher and was the assistant coach for the football team. So a lot of times he was always there spotting me and stuff like that when I needed him. So I was probably one of the most dedicated lifters on the team. I wasn't good at football. That's why I didn't play football. I didn't play football my senior year, but I was better at wrestling, so I focused on getting better at wrestling than anything else. So what kind of impact did working out have on your life in those early days? So I was fairly strong. This is the last question, by the way. I was fairly strong in those early days. I don't remember all my numbers. I remember that my bench max was 275 in high school. That was in between my sophomore and junior year. My bench was at 275, and that was like the heaviest I ever benched in high school. And I kind of tore my shoulder not long after that, so I didn't try and chase a huge number after that. And then my total of the big three was 1100 in high school, so which I believe I was the top 5 in my school for that, and then was in between my junior and senior year. So there was juniors and seniors that were not getting as good as numbers as I was, and we had a board up for like everybody that had a bench over 300 and stuff like that got to stay up there for the rest of their life. And I was trying to chase that, but I tried it a lot of times to try and bench 300 and never did it. So I actually did it once. I actually made a 300 bench once in high school, but the coach or the gym teacher said he didn't see it. So even though he was sitting right there, but yeah. So I think I got all these questions. If you guys are interested in doing this, tag yourself. I will throw all the questions down below, and yeah, a little different tag, and it was pretty interesting. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will catch you guys later.